Good morning, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining the second annual general meeting for Mombo SACCO. We would like to begin now. If you have any questions, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you shall see a Q&A feature. Please post all your questions in the Q&A feature. We shall have a segment where we shall be responding to all the questions. So please remember to note them down in the Q&A feature. If you have any comment, however, kindly put it down on the chat feature. So the questions go to the Q&A and the comments go to the chat. We shall be sure to look at them as we continue with the meeting and shall respond to the questions accordingly as we go on. I would now like to invite James Makori, who is the legal advisor of Mombo SACCO, to open the meeting for us and to lead us in the session to read the previous minutes. I would like to invite James Makori to the podium to kickstart the meeting for us. Welcome, James Makori.
I am happy to be present for the meeting this morning, and you are all welcome for this meeting. With your permission as members and the chairman, I would wish to start the meeting by a devotion and a word of prayer. I'll take the devotion from the book of Matthew in the Bible, Matthew chapter 25. Matthew chapter 25, I'll read verse 14. It says, "Again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his wealth to them. To one he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag." And I read verse 16. It says, "The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more." Verse 19, "After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. Then the man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. 'Master,' he said, 'you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more.'" And my devotion this morning is actually based on the response from the master in verse 21, where he says, his master replied, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." So as members of Mombo SACCO, it is my prayer this morning that we will be able, like this faithful servant, to be able to use our resources well as they have been given to us by our Lord, so that then we shall be able to share in our master's happiness when we find that we have positive results from them. So at this time, I would like to request all of us to humble ourselves so that I can make a word of prayer before we officially start the meeting. Our Father and our Lord who is in heaven, I want to thank you for this beautiful Saturday morning. Thank you for the gift of life, and thank you for bringing us for this meeting. Father, have mercy on us because we are sinners in thought, in action, and in omission, and I pray that you will have forgiveness for all of us. As we start this meeting, I'm inviting your presence to guide us through the meeting. Give us the gift of wisdom and discernment so that we can be able to discuss these matters in a manner that is beneficial to all the members. I pray that you will give strength to all the members and officials of Mombo SACCO that we may grow to higher heights. I pray all this, trusting and believing in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. So, on behalf of the Secretary of the Mombo SACCO, Madam Caroline Cherop, it's again my pleasure to read the notice for the second annual general meeting of Mombo SACCO. So this is a polite notice given to all our members that the second annual general meeting, AGM of Mombo SACCO for the year ending 31st December 2020 will be held on Saturday, the 26th of June 2021. And this is a unique event which is being held on Zoom. And the following is the agenda of the AGM. 1, confirmation of the minutes of the 2019 Annual General Meeting, adoption of the Chairman's report, adoption of the Credit and Risk Committee report, adoption of the Supervisory Committee report, presentation of the 2019 and 2020 audited financial statements, presentation and adoption of annual budget for the financial year 2021-2022, appointment of auditors, consideration of SASRA, non-deposit taking business regulations 2020, disposal of surplus for the financial year 2019-2020, election of new board members, other resolutions, any other business. And this notice is signed by Caroline Cherop, who is the Honorary Secretary for Mombo SACCO Society Limited. So members, all of us are online, and it is normal that before we discuss any issue, we have somebody to propose it for adoption and another person to second it. So for the agenda, I'm requesting that if you want to propose that we discuss this agenda, kindly raise your hand so that your name is taken down, and then we can also have a seconder for the same, for adoption of this agenda for this meeting.
Members, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you shall see a feature for raising your hand. Kindly use it for this purpose. If you look at the bottom of your Zoom screen, you shall see a feature for raising your hand. Kindly use it for this purpose. James Makori, back to you.
So do we have a proposal for the agenda?
If you are unable to use the feature for any reason, kindly comment, put your comment in the chat so that you can proceed to the next item. If you are unable to see this feature to use it for any reason, kindly use the chat function to put your comments. We will give you 1 minute so that you can proceed to the next item.
So thank you, Francis Nyadida. I see it has been proposed by Francis Nyadida. May I have a seconder, please? No, may I have another second apart from Caroline, please? Members who are in the meeting? Thank you, Priscilla. I can see you have raised your hand, and Judith also. So we have adopted the agenda for discussion this morning. Thank you very much, members. So it's again my responsibility this morning on behalf of the Honorary Secretary of the SACCO to read the minutes of the annual general meeting of Mombo SACCO for the meeting that was held on the 25th of May 2019 at Tamarind Tree Hotel in Nairobi. So I'm happy also to note that the minutes of the meeting had already been shared to all the members. So members kindly go through the minutes. I'll just highlight The attendance, we have already provided a list of the SACCO members who are in attendance, management committee members, supervisory committee members, auditors, invited guests, and an official from the Ministry of Cooperatives. Master of ceremony was one Felix Odiwor, known as Jalango. And the minutes are as follows. Preliminaries, the meeting was called to order by the chairman at 10:40 a.m. upon constitution of the quorum as per the SACCO bylaws. A confirmation of the AGM notice of at least 14 days was done, and Elijah Okunyanyi led the opening prayer. Then we confirmed the agenda, which was read by the secretary, and it was proposed by Caroline Cherop and seconded by Michael Opondo. Minute number 3, review and adoption of the 2018 AGM minutes. The secretary then read the minutes of the meeting, which had been held on 21st April 2018. The same were proposed by Rose Chemiat, seconded by one Mr. Okech, and adopted as a true record of the said meeting. Minute number 4, matters arising from the previous minutes. There were no matters arising, but the Honorary Secretary acknowledged invited guests present and requested members to introduce themselves. And we are happy that the Kajiado North Cooperatives Officer, Madam Salome Wangoi, was present on that day. Minute number 5 was the chairman's report, which was read by the chairman, Mr. Peter Mcharo, who welcomed the members and guests to the AGM. And then he highlighted a 53% increase in surplus. He stated there was healthy liquidity due to capital and operating efficiency. He noted that 15% of the annual revenue had been paid as interest on member savings and was happy with the SACCO's aggressive and bold marketing and technology adaptation. He noted that we had members in diaspora as far away as Syria, and the share capital was increased from 10,000 to 20,000. 28 members had upgraded to platinum, and we had 100% insurance for SACCO loans. Savings were also insured, and the data of members was safe. The motion to adopt the chairman's report was proposed and adopted. Then minute number 6, we had brief remarks by invited guests. We had Mr. Waithaka Gatumia, who was from Centonomy Limited, and he explained the meaning of wealth and how we can achieve wealth by working for it. We also had Madam Salome Wangoi, who is the Kajiado North Sub-County Cooperative Officer, who is the supervisor of the SACCO, who was happy that the SACCO had grown and advised members to diligently save and invest wisely, encouraged members to take loans because this would increase investment in the society, and paid homage to the digital nature of the meeting and was happy with the growth of the SACCO. And then she reminded officials to lodge their wealth declaration forms and indemnity. We had a friend of the SACCO, Mr. Chris Enanu, who was by then the managing director of Digital Service Delivery Unit of Telcom Kenya Limited, who applauded the SACCO for adopting innovative technology and congratulated the board for facing the challenges faced by the SACCO movement. And then he commended the SACCO for being financially stable with the proper cash flow. The supervisory committee report was read by Caroline Cherop and Nyawira Kinyua, and it noted that there was proper accounting for members' funds, records were well kept, and they commended the management committee for the good work done and promised to ensure constant supervision. The motion to adopt the report was proposed by Ms. Irene Soti and seconded by Mr. Elias Rayasi. The auditor's report was read by Mr. Lawrence Bitter, CPA, who went through the financial reports for 2017 and 2018 and confirmed they were in order in accordance with international financial reporting standards. The motion to adopt the same was proposed by Caroline and seconded by Patrick Mwinde. Then we read the Treasurer's report, which was read by the Honorary Treasurer, Madam Modesta Oloch, who asked members' consensus to present the same in tandem with the Treasurer's report for the earlier year 2019-2020. And she noted that the SACCO had a strategic plan with the following key pillars: membership, financial, business and operations, products and services, corporate governance, and strategy execution. She urged members to increase the uptake of loans, as this would increase the return on investment, and alluded that majority of members had not taken loans by then. She noted that management was developing a digital suggestion box which would enable members to provide their feedback on their general experience. Then the treasurer's report and budget were proposed, seconded, and adopted. Then we have AGM item number 10 of 2019, which was appointment of auditors and bankers. And it was unanimously agreed that Bita and Associates would continue to be the auditor of the SACCO and that Cooperative Bank of Kenya would continue to be the bankers of the SACCO. Elections were conducted under the supervision of Madam Salome Wangoi, Cooperative Officer, Kajiado North, who was glad to attend and congratulated the SACCO. And it was unanimously agreed that the management committee members would provide an indemnity of 500,000 each, and they would also sign and file well declaration forms. After electronic voting, the following were elected as officials. Supervisory committee, we had Wisdom Leshamta. Board secretary, we had Caroline Cherop. Credit committee, we had Jotham Mumina. And then minute AGM 11 of 2019, there was a member's testimonial by Robert Otuori, live from Qatar, and also from Madam Irene Soti. Then there was a vote of thanks by Ms. Nyawira Kinyo, and there being no other business, the meeting ended at 1:40 p.m. So briefly, those are the minutes of the last meeting. And the secretariat, please, if there is a member, I can see the chat, there is a member who says he has not received them, please share them. And for now, before we discuss the minutes of the last meeting, I would also like to request if we can have a member who was in attendance in that meeting to propose the same for adoption and another member to second. Kindly, if you can just indicate in the chat that you propose the same for adoption and another member to second. So I can see hand raised by Gideon Zolo. I assume Gideon Zolo is proposing adoption, and Lamek Makori. So we have the minutes adopted for discussion this morning. So we have adopted the minutes for discussion, and they are now available for us to discuss. So from minute number 1 to minute number 11, I would like any member who is present again kindly to indicate on the panel if there is any matter arising or any discussion or any mistake that is appearing in those particular minutes so that we can deal with it right away. So this you can do, please, by the chat so that we can record whatever concern the member may be having. If there is any member who has any discussion or who has seen any matter that is arising from the minutes of our previous meeting, kindly, you can indicate on the chat. So it is 10:31 now, members, and it seems that we don't have any discussion on the minutes, so it would be my assumption that we have a proper record of the minutes of the previous meeting, and we have to confirm them. So I again request members, I can have a proposer and a seconder for adoption of those minutes as a proper record of the meeting that we had last time. And I don't want to confuse members. There are two stages here which we are going through. First, we adopt the minutes for discussion, and then we confirm that they are a proper record. So may I have a proposer who can confirm that this is a proper record of the minutes of last meeting? Kindly, if you can just chat. A proposer and a seconder for the minutes as a true record of the minutes of the last meeting, please. So I have a proposal from Judith Musioki proposing the minutes as a true record. May I please have a seconder? So So I have a seconder by the name of Calvin. So thank you very much. And at that point, we can confirm that the minutes are adopted as a true record of the annual general meeting that was held prior to this one. So members, I think I have played my role, and I want to thank you for listening to me. As you can see from the agenda that we have adopted this morning, our next item on the agenda is for the chairman's report. And I therefore take the opportunity with great humility to invite our chairman, Mr. Peter Mombo, to come and read his chairman's report for this annual general meeting. Thank you very much, and please let us continue to participate and be active in the AGM this morning.
Wanachama wenzangu, karibuni kwa kikao chetu cha mwaka 2021. Ni matarajio yangu kuwa nyote mu buheri wa afya, na ninawakaribisha sana katika kikao hichi. Mwaka uliopita umekuwa na changamoto kadhaa, lakini tunashukuru ya kwamba kama Mombo Sacco tumeweza kuwashughulikia members wetu vyema, na pia kama Sacco tukaweza kufanikiwa katika mipangilio yetu. I would like to start off by taking you back to where our journey began. From the beginning, Mombo Sacco sought to distinguish itself in the market as a Sacco that creates convenience and maximum value for its members. A true alternative to traditional SACCO'S. As Kenya's premier app-based digital Sacco, we created a financial institution that is truly built for the way we live now. In short, we took an idea from the past and built it for the future. We are now proud to state that we have built a place where you can count on during the good times, the bad times, and every time in between. A Sacco where progress is inspired by you and for you. Where the power of people helping people has accomplished amazing things. It is these values and our obsession with improving your experience with money that meant that we were all prepared when the coronavirus pandemic hit the globe in 2020. Indeed, 2020 for us was a transformational year. Our growth across all our performance indicators doubled despite the challenges of the pandemic. Through the collective support and efforts of our members and staff, we emerged from a very challenging year as one of Kenya's strongest cloud-based digital Sacco. While 2020 is not a year we shall soon forget, I also take this opportunity on behalf of the Sacco board and management to offer consolation and condolences to those who were affected and those who lost their loved ones to COVID-19. That many of you have shown resilience and cooperation during these unprecedented times is a true testament to the commitment that you have put to the Sacco movement in general and to Mombo Sacco in particular, and the trust that you particularly placed in us to be the center of your financial lives. In this, we shall continue to serve you, putting your best interests forward. Mombo Sacco is here for all of us. We shall continue to operate within the law, even as we apply the best financial technology to remain at the forefront of digital innovation. We believe this is what will make us a stronger SACCO. Here are some key achievements in 2020. Number one, we welcomed 608 new members, 289 of which were referred by you. Thank you so much, members. Number two, with less than 1,000 members, our savings grew by 112% to 36 million. Number three, our asset base grew by 118% to stand at 53.5 million. Number four, we introduced the Top Savers Awards, where top savers in each of our savings accounts, that is bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, were awarded a weekend holiday getaway with a partner of their choice. Number five, we were recognized during the third Digital Tech Excellence Awards as the best, most improved SACCO in the use of tech solutions. All these achievements in 2020 were courtesy of the board, the management, and you, the members. We are very grateful for your support, and we wish that this continues for even better achievements in 2021. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize our board members, all of whom are present with us during this event. The Vice Chairperson, Joyce Nduta, the Secretary, Caroline Cherop, the Treasurer, Modesta Oloch, Credit Committee Chair, Ikechuku Anoke, Credit Committee Secretary, Caroline McKenna, and Credit Committee Member, Jotham Mumina. Also, I would like to acknowledge our Supervisory Committee members, Chairman, Gideon Zolo, Secretary, Patrick Mwindu, Committee Member, Wisdom Bai. Not to forget our dedicated staff members, Diana Mbeja, Joanne Wanjiku, Yusuf Elias, Simon Waweru, and Cynthia Gachini. For the future, we are looking toward focusing on our key strategic pillars: corporate governance, brand and operations, product and services, strategy and execution. In mind, we have products in insurance, financial education, and investments. We have a plan to grow our membership to 52,000 and our asset base to 1.5 billion by 2025. Yes, members, this is achievable, and we will make it happen. Dear members, I welcome you all to take part in this journey to becoming a futuristic mobile bank. We shall also continue to invest in the right technology, the right people, and the right attitudes to improve your experience with Mombo Sacco. Thank you all, and God bless Mombo Sacco.
Hello members, my name is Victor Auri from Britam Life Insurance Company Kenya. Britam Life is the largest life insurance company in Kenya. Currently, we have a partnership with Mombo Sacco, whereby all the members of Mombo Sacco are covered for risks associated with death and PTD. So in the unfortunate event that any member of Mombo Sacco passes on, what happens is we will pay the full outstanding loan balance for the member, and will also compensate the member 100% of their savings. This feature is unique to Mombo Sacco. Mombo Sacco is the only Sacco that we know of that covers their members for their savings. This product is also provided by Mombo Sacco free of charge. We want to commend the management of Mombo Sacco for offering support to their members, especially in these hard times of COVID-19. We promise to continue this partnership with Mombo Sacco and to be with them every step of the way, and also with their members. We thank you, and may God bless Mombo Sacco.
So thank you very much, Chairman. Usually it is normal when the Chairman has made a statement for members to clap. So it's just that we are having this virtual meeting, so that may not be so easy. So we are grateful for that statement and for the milestones that the Chairman has read out. So again, apart from the Chairman's report, there are other reports, but first we have to adopt the Chairman's report for discussion. And as I said earlier, adopting the report does not mean that we are agreeing or approving it. We adopt it, then it will be available for us to discuss. So I would like to request members who are present kindly on our panel for chat, if you can kindly propose the Chairman's report for discussion, and then we have a seconder for the same. Members who are in the meeting, please, somebody to propose the Chairman's report for discussion and another person to second the same. If we can move quickly, please. Thank you, Kelvin, proposed, and also I see there is Benjamin. So it is proposed by Benjamin and seconded by Kelvin. Thank you very much. So the Chairman's report is available for discussion. But Chair, with your kind permission, I would like to make a proposal, because we have also the Credit and Risk Committee report. We have the Supervisory Committee report. May I propose that we go through the reports, adopt them, and then at the end of these reports, we can have one discussion for all of them. So that at this time, then we invite our presenter for the Credit and Risk Committee report.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makori. I would like to call on the podium Mr. Ikechukwu Anoke. He is the Credit and Risk Committee Chairperson. Mr. Ikechukwu is the founder and Group CEO of Play Group Limited, which is a holding company for Play Communications Limited. Taurus Events and Taurus Music. Ikechukwu has over 10 years of experience in the infotainment and digital marketing industry. Mr. Ikechukwu, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. And thank you, members. My name is Ikechukwu Anoke, Chair of the Credit Committee for Mombo Sacco, and I'd like to welcome everybody again. Our report is summarized into 4 key things, and we say it's oversight, our scoring methodology, sustainable growth, and portfolio performance. Part of our oversight responsibilities is to ensure responsible lending, ensure that members' funds are not frittered away. Our management committee's responsibility is to maximize our SACCO's rate of risk by maintaining our credit risk exposure within the acceptable parameters. The credit committee continues to provide oversight on the SACCO's lending and recovery policies to lower our exposure to credit risk that is usually occasioned by non-performing loans. Part of how we're doing it is one of the unique ways we've done is our scoring methodology. Mombo SACCO has created an M-score on the Mombo app. It's an advanced credit scoring and decisioning engine to determine the limits and tenure of loan facilities granted on members. And this considers a lot of factors, includes how you pay your loan, includes the level of documentation you've provided. The M-score is based on behavioral and transactional data from the CRB, M-Pesa or bank statements, and members' financial history with SACCO. In 2020, Mombo SACCO originated about 57.5 million in new loans. And these loans, were over 400 borrowers within. Now, interest and penalties earned increased by 41%, occasioned by an increased loan book. Repayments during the year increased slightly by 7%. This was driven mainly by loan restructures and moratoriums designed specifically to cushion our most vulnerable members who were economically impacted by the pandemic. The net effect of this increased our loan book by 114%. 98% of all our loans are within the appropriate aging days of 0.30 days. Loan impairments and waivers declined by 45% in 2020. This implies that as a SACCO, that our SACCO can collect all monies that are due, including both interest and principals, according to the contractual length of the loan agreement. Due to this, I'll be happy to report that our NPL, non-performing loan book, was kept at 2.3%, significantly lower in 2020 than the industry averages. Our credit risk management policies, we've introduced a couple of strategies to ensure that we get people to pay on time and reward them for paying on time. Our loans are probably the cheapest in the market because we offer a 50% interest discount if you pay within 15 days of when you've taken your loan. We're also very cognizant of some of the challenges around borrowing. And in order to ensure that members don't get into a debt trap, we ensure that we advise you to consolidate your loans. We do not try and create multiple products, because we believe that the idea, some of the risks of that is getting members to, get into a debt trap. So understanding the current economic situations, current economic situations, we feel that our strategy of ensuring that we're always engaging with our members in terms of borrowing, letting them know of the financial choices and consolidation of their loans has helped us in keeping a very, very low NPL. We're also very key. We're also very key in terms of our engagement with members as regards to their KYC documents. We believe that trying to understand the financial behavior of our members is very important and very key in our lending strategy. So, we always demand for KYC documents submitted quarterly that enables us appraise members' ability to borrow and also to pay back. Part of the things that helps us to do is, one, ascertain what limit you can borrow, ascertain if you've all borrowed from other places, which might impact your ability to pay back, and also advise you on how to consolidate your loan in order to ensure that you meet your payments. In our engagements and our experience, we've come to discover that it is not that people do not want to pay. It is because sometimes choices and circumstances they've made has, sort of impacted their ability to repay on time. And that is why part of our lending strategy is also to engage in education on how to manage your debt. The credit committee is also engaging our members on social media platforms and our various web classes and engage posts on benefits of managing your credit, how to keep great credit scores, and also borrowing to ensure that you're able to scale and grow your business. It's important to also note that over 60% of the loans given were given to SMEs. We understand the impact of the pandemic on financial democratization, or what we call the democratization of financial space for our members. It's important to point out that our constant engagement and our strategy has allowed us to be able to help SMEs jumpstart their business as we try to navigate the economy from this pandemic. Thank you very much, members, and it's good to see you all a bit digitally again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ikechukwu Anoke, for that report. I think members, you are listening and getting to know whether or not the money that you have invested in the SACCO is safe. Now, for purposes of discussion, again, I'm requesting members who may be having any question, kindly put, or any issue for discussion, kindly write it on the Q&A or on the chat, so that when I call the panelists, they'll be able to address whatever issues you have raised. But again, it's customary at this time to request that we adopt the Credit and Risk Committee report for discussion. So kindly on the chat panel, may I have one proposer and one seconder for adoption of this report for discussion. Yeah, just a proposer and a seconder for this report from the Credit Committee. Thank you, Susan. And there's somebody else whose name I cannot see, but it has been proposed and seconded by Evans and Susan. And I think the report is available now for discussion. So we have one more report by the Supervisory Committee. So we will have the report by the Supervisory Committee read, after which we will adopt it, and then we'll answer, or the panelists will address any questions arising from the three reports. That's the Chairman's report, Credit and Risk Committee report, and the Supervisory Committee report. So our next report will be the Supervisory Committee report.
We would now like to invite Mr. Gideon Zolo, who is the chairperson of the Supervisory Committee. Mr. Zolo is a healthcare solutions expert based in Liverpool, with over 18 years of experience in recruitment and supply of healthcare professionals to private hospitals, nursing homes, and the NHS. Mr. Gideon Zolo, welcome to the podium. Mr. Gideon Zolo is joining us from the United Kingdom, so I will request you to put on your video, and then you can proceed. Mr. Zolo, kindly put on your video, and let's proceed.
Good morning, members. Good morning, good morning. My name is Gideon Zolo. I'm a member of Mombo SACCO, and I've been a member for the last 2.5 years. Well, I've been a chairman of the Supervisory Committee, and this is our report. Right. Our mandate is to protect your wealth. The scope and mandate of Mombo SACCO'S Supervisory Committee is to review the structure of governance, risk, management policies, and controls put in place by the SACCO to safeguard the assets and protect our shareholders, as stipulated under the SACCO Societies Regulation 2010. So we have three things that we normally do as a Mombo SACCO Supervisory Committee. One is to oversight on the preparation of financial statements, statements of comprehensive income, statements of cash flows, statements of changes in equity, and statements of financial position in accordance to the international financial reporting standards. We also have the assurance, we ensure that the systems of internal controls follows the laws and regulations as stipulated by SASRA. We also make sure that there's a risk assessment to your wealth. We ensure a sustainable risk management framework in terms of the identification of the key risks affecting our SACCO, controls set around the risks, and the mitigation framework set to hinder recurrence of the risks. We are ensuring seamless coordination by both the internal and external auditors, while ensuring the independence of the internal auditors is maintained. So, in the year under review, the committee focused on delivering its mandate through continuous assessment of key risks and advisory to the board. The supervisory committee was part of this digitization journey by providing oversight on the implementation of the app. We have also adopted the best technology to ensure cybersecurity risks, anti-money laundering, checks, data privacy, and business continuity. So you can say, members, your money is very, very safe. And apart from all the dealings, we're ensuring that we are here to protect your wealth. So we are hopefully that we're going to continue with the same mandate so that we can continue creating wealth to our members. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, please, you can raise it under the question and answer. Thank you and good morning.
So thank you very much, Bwana Zolo, and we are happy to see you from very far where you are. Thank you very much for your report. I would just like to request again the members who are present in the meeting that we have a proposer and a seconder for adoption of the Supervisory Committee report for discussion. And I'm still urging members who are present, if you have any questions, kindly place the question on the Q&A or any comment, because after this we are inviting the panelists for a brief discussion. So may I have a proposer and a seconder for the Supervisory Committee report, please? Okay, so we have a proposer from Lamek and a seconder from Julia. So thank you very much. So we have these 3 reports which have been adopted for discussion. And I would like us to, if you still have any issue that you would like to be discussed, kindly remember to put it on the panel. And Chairman, I think the 2 issues which I can see are issues that maybe we'll need to address. One of the members is inquiring about, in fact, he had written this quite early, about the power of stories after he has seen the discussion of a member's relationship with Mombo Sacco. Would you be willing to recruit more members who can then tell their story? Because there are people who are talented in storytelling, who can tell their story and put it online and so on, so that people can be able to have a look at it. Then we have another member who is proposing that a Telegram group can be opened to invite new entrants into the SACCO. He says, I don't know whether this is true, Telegram can accommodate up to 200,000 members, as compared to WhatsApp, which has only 256. And we have another member who is requesting for proposed amendments. So Secretariat, please share these proposed amendments with the member. So Chairman, I would like to invite you to maybe comment on these 2 issues about opening a Telegram group and also authorizing members of the SACCO to tell the story of Mombo Sacco to members of the public.
Hello, members. Thank you very much for your positive feedback. This is highly welcome. I invite you to feel free to share your stories. And on the part of Telegram, we will have our team look into it, and you'll have a feedback by next week. Thank you. Also, I'd like to respond to Madam Isabel Juma about the proposed amendments. We have a link that was shared via email yesterday to a web page where we have the annual report, the detailed annual report, a summarized financial report, the proposed resolutions, the budget, and the proposed bylaws. All are available on the webpage, which a link was shared to your emails. But for convenience, one of our team members here will share it in the chat in the next few minutes. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Chairman, for your answers. And we still have more discussion that is going on. We have a member who is asking what is the loan limit and how much is one eligible for after saving up to a certain figure, that is up to 100,000. And these are just questions for the Secretariat, and I think an answer is on the way from the Secretariat about this, because these are operational issues. So for me, I think that is what I can say so far about the reports which were to be presented, and you will see from our agenda that we have dealt with items number 1 up to item number 4. So we have another agenda now, which is presentation of the 2019 and 2020 audited financial statements. So I would like to hand over again to the Secretariat at this point so that this can be presented. Thank you.
Okay, to other business fellow colleagues, whether in travel or in the other business sectors, I think for me, I would give it a plus. I would tell you go for Mombo. No, I'm not being paid to do this, sorry. But I'm saying go for Mombo because number one, they are there for you. There is no company, not even a financial institution, not even Equity, that you can get a loan that fast. 20 minutes loan approval, I think is the fastest record I've seen. And of course, payment terms are also very flexible. You don't feel so much pinch.
By the way, it's not, there's something I need to mention. It's not that I've not been in trouble. Yeah. It's not that I've taken a loan and it's been smooth all the way. Yeah. Like, I was able to pay all my loans on time and I always had money. Yeah. No, it's not worked like that. There are times it's been really tough. Like over, I think the last 1 or 2 years. Yeah. When COVID hit, there are times you go down and you have a lot of pressure to pay because of course you owe money and you have to pay. So I've been in trouble before, yeah, but they've been really patient sometimes and understanding. And sometimes I put myself in a situation where I ask myself if I was in a bank or if I owed someone else money, because I've seen people go through shit. They owed people money and they went through hell, yeah. But this feels like home. Yeah, you can explain your case and you can be understood. People can hear you out. Yeah, they can give you some time. They can wait. They can understand. They will visit you. They will call you. They will check on you. Yeah.
We would like to invite Caroline Cherop, who is the Secretary of the Board. Caroline works with the Parliamentary Service Commission. She has a professional background in strategic management, accounting, communications, social science research, and programs management. Caroline, take it up.
Good morning, members. It's a pleasure to see you this morning, a bit over this digital platform. It would have been nice to see you physically, but because of our current challenges, I think this also works. So I'd like to present the financials for this year on behalf of our treasurer, is on the robust performance of the SACCO in light of the pandemic year. So as you can see in our presentation, in my presentation, our membership grew from our membership growth shows 131% increment, while our total assets increased from 24.5 million to 53.4 million. This represents a 128% growth. Our loans to members increased from 22.3 million to 47.7 million, representing 114%, while our core capital increased from 3.6 million to 7.5 million, representing 105% growth. I'd also like to touch on the member savings that increased from 17.2 million to 36.6 million, representing 112% growth. I would like to also highlight on the net surplus before tax that increased from 449 million in 2019 to 889 million in 2020, this representing a 98% growth. I'd like to quickly go to our balance sheets, and this I would like to focus on the key ratios presenting our agility and the resilience of the SACCO to move on. So our core capital to our total assets increased from, had a slight slump from 15% in 2019 to 14% in 2020, which per our statutory requirements, we are still performing beyond, above statutory regulations, which allows us to have this ratio at 8%, and we were at 14%. I will give a quick, an overview of all these ratios, and then explain why we have a slight slump in 2020. So I'll go to the core capital, to the total deposits, which was 20% in 2020, representing a slight 1% drop from 2019. which is also above the statutory performance of 5%. While our institutional capital to core capital, which is supposed to be maintained at a 50 to 50% ratio, was at 32% in 2020. And I'd like to explain there that this is because our institutional capital to the core capital was affected by our 50%, what's it called? The interest income savings we give. So we are urging our members to continue saving and continue buying into your shares, continue being agile members, and contribute to this particular institutional capital, which is a percentage. It is both retained earnings plus the company core capital. So we are urging our members to continue buying shares so that this capital can be increased. Our minimum capital, our minimum core capital in that year was also increased from 3.6 million to 7.5 million, which was an excess. Which is an excess to what the statute, the regulator allows us to have. We are supposed to have 5 million, but we are at 7.5 million. Our liquidity ratio is also doing very well. We increased from 11% in 2019 to 20% to 14% in 2020, which is also an increase from what the regulator allows us to maintain. We are supposed to maintain a 10% statutory minimum. Our current ratio, this is our total assets to total liabilities, also has been maintained at 1.16%, which shows us that we are performing as per the regulator. And so we want to maintain doing this. We want to even increase further in this 2021 year. We want to continue growing as a SACCO, and I believe we can do this. I would like to highlight a bit about our strong revenue growth. As you can see, our revenue grew by 146% from 3,308,798 in 2019 to 8,154,218. This was driven by the increased interest income. As you can see in my ratios, this was an increment of 181%. This is due to the growth of loans and advances to members. There was exceptional growth in service charge at 67%, while other incomes and entrance fees also added to this exceptional growth. I would like to urge us that we continue joining the SACCO and driving this SACCO, because this is a cooperative. This is not a company. This is where we hold each other's hands and we grow together. So let's continue doing this. I would like to also highlight that there's a lot of work we need to do. In 2019, during the AGM in 2019, I remember we highlighted the fact that we did not have staff. We did not have personnel in our SACCO. And in 2020, we had to, in light of and in compliance with the regulator, we had to hire staff. And because of this, we incurred operational expenses. As you can see in my next slide, the next slide on operational expenses, we grew. For the business to grow, we had to inject 100% personnel expenses. This was driven. This included administration expenses, information technology, rent, and insurance premiums. We'll continue making great strides in savings, in the business development and marketing expense, so that this increase in operating expenses is also reflected in increase in revenues. I would like to quickly go to our 2021 budget, which is the work we must do to ensure that our revenues continue growing. Because as you know, little risk does not produce much. We must also invest in our SACCO, invest in our people, so that we can have increased revenues for the SACCO. So the 2021 budget, we plan to increase our interest income from 6.5 million in 2020 to 13.1 million. And you're wondering, how are we going to do this? Let me tell you something. In 2020, our actual interest income was actually 8.5 million, 2 million being the 50%. All of you who have taken loans know this, that there is that 15 days, 50% benefit which is accrued to our members. Once you take a loan, you have a 50% chance. A 50% benefit whereby you pay 50% of your interest. So this in 2020 was 2 million. Therefore, this is not reflected in our interest income because it was what you members enjoyed in 2020, and us increasing the 8.5 million in 2020 to 13.1 million, which is a slight 5 million difference, is very much achievable. I think we can do this. Also, our interest expense in 2020 came to 1.19 million. We hope to increase this to 2.3 million. And this is to you members. You must take loans. You must take advantage of this very good product where you pay 50% of your interest. I don't think there's any other SACCO which can give you this benefit. Please do this. Also, our net interest income, we plan to increase it from 5.3 million in 2020 to 10.7 million in 2021. This is also so that it to your benefit members. So we need you members to also refer your friends, refer your family members, because you can see we need each other to grow the SACCO. Other incomes we plan to include what our chairman has just said is the introduction of insurance products. So with this income, we hope that in 2021 we're able to hit 5.4 million. Members, let me just tell you that this is very important, because once our incomes increase, you know what, members, this means more money to your pockets. So members, please take advantage of this. Let us work together. Let us bring people together and take this SACCO further. Our total revenues for 2021, we expect that our total revenue will double to 16.2 million, while our total expenditure will go to 13.3 million. As I explained to you earlier, the more we put into investing into our SACCO, the greater our incomes will be. So we must work on this. We also hope to have a net surplus of 2.89 million. We also hope to increase our savings to 92.2 million. This last year we increased our actual savings to 36.6 million. So going a further 92 to 92.2 million is not going to be a small, it's not going to be hard, because you members will help us in doing this. And also considering how we are growing, that we have a plan of increasing our membership by 2025 to 52,000 members. We can do this, members. We can actually do this. We also hope that this year we're going to have our share capital increased to 9.7 million, up from 5.1 million from 2020. And this is a challenge to you members, that these statutory shares that we need to buy of the SACCO, so that we can each have equal shareholding of the SACCO, we need to do this. It is paramount as members to buy your shares, to be a fully paid up member, so that we can grow this SACCO. So continue referring your friends, continue referring your family members. We have to grow. Yes, this is your role to build the SACCO. So I'll quickly go on to our loan book, where we expect to increase to 86.6 million in 2021, up from 47.7 million. Our cash equivalents, we hope to have, this is now, cash equivalents are the liquidity issues that we have. We hope to increase the money that we have in our pay bill and in our account to 9.3 million, while our membership, we expect to grow to 2,414 in this financial year. So members, this is our work. This is our SACCO. Let us own it. Let us move with it. As you have heard from all these stories that our members have shown, we have highlighted, it is possible. It's our challenge to actually make the SACCO grow. So now, looking into the future, how do we maintain or how do we build a savings culture? We at Mombo SACCO, we We want to continue helping members to grow in their savings and therefore secure the financial future. We continue doing this by offering simplified, innovative, and easy to use savings accounts and products. So we want to, I just highlight the features of the savings account that we have, which is earning you a competitive interest income. As you have seen from the app, where we earn up to 6% on interest income on your savings. We also are we also are multiplying your spending limit up to 5 times your savings. We're also offering life insurance at 100% of your savings at no cost, and you're also going to be consistent and growing infinitely, so that our SACCO can continue growing. We're also going to have access to a personal financial advisor or a customer success representative members, surely with all those benefits. What else can we say? We are bound to grow, and we are going to grow into the future. Thank you, members. Let me just reiterate my chairman's report that we need to be together in this. We need to grow our members, and to grow our membership by that 52,000 by 2025. And I know this is possible because you know what? We have grown from 2015. This is hardly 5 years. And 2020 notwithstanding, we have been able to achieve such great heights. I think we are able to achieve this. We're able to get up to that 500 million in savings, in member savings by 2025. We can do this. With that, I beg to sit down and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Madam Caroline Cherop, for that presentation. Members who are present in the meeting, I don't know which profession you come from, but many of us, when we see these mathematics and figures, we are very afraid. But I am happy that she has described it in a simple way, which we can understand, and there are figures where you can see why it is going up, and I think we are happy with the way things are. I'm also happy with the members who are doing a discussion on the chat. There are many questions about shares and savings and dividends, and I think the auditor will come to explain whether or not we can expect anything today. But before we go into much, I would like to, again, we have to adopt this report and budget for discussion. So kindly on the chat, would you kindly indicate if you are proposing it for discussion, and then we have a seconder so that we move on then to the next agenda. Kindly members, if I may have a proposer and a seconder for the financial report as prepared by the SACCO. Anybody proposing, kindly indicate on the chat. Thank you, Dan, for the proposal, and thank you, Gilbert and Alphonse. So we have the report proposed and adopted. So I will hand over again to the Secretariat for the next item on the agenda.
Thank you very much, Mr. Makori. Just before we proceed to the next item, I would like to make a few announcements. All members received an email that requested you to vote for the new offices. We want to appreciate those who have already voted. We have quite a number of votes that have come in. This is just a reminder for you to just take a minute, check your email, and access the link so that you can vote. We would like to read the votes at the end of this meeting. We have seen also a request on the chat to share these summary reports. We shall be sharing them in the course of this meeting. Keep your comments coming in the comment section, and if you have any questions, kindly put them in the Q&A feature. I would now like to invite Mr. Lawrence Bitter, who is the auditor of the board. Mr. Bitter has over 30 years experience in accounting and auditing. Mr. Bitter, welcome.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think the treasurer has already given quite a bit of figures to you about how the society has performed. Okay, we will first of look at the income statement, because that shows the performance of the society. In 2020, interest on loans and advances was 6,551,190. Out of that, interest on members' deposit was paid amounting to 1,191,890. That means the net interest income, which is the gross minus the interest paid, was 5,359,300. There was income from entrance fees, those who joined the society, amounted to 284,100. Other operating income, you can always get this information in detail on the notes. With these accounts, there are notes. So when we say note 15, if you scroll down to the notes, you can see the composition of that amount. So other income, according to note 15, was 2,510,818, giving total revenue of 8,154,218. Then there were operational expenses, details of which are in note 14, amounted to 7,265,024 shillings, giving a net operating surplus before tax of 889,194. There was no provision for tax in 2020. I think it was a mistake to make a provision the year before. But earnings from members, solely from members, is not subject to tax. So net operating surplus was, in 2020, was 889,194. We've looked at the income statement. Now we want to look at the balance sheet. The balance sheet as at 31st December 2020. Assets of the society comprised of non-current assets, property, plant, and equipment. I think mainly computers and furniture and software. The total value of the assets, net value of the assets as at 31st December of fixed assets was 374,780. Current assets, cash and cash equivalent was 5 million. Again, you refer to the notes. If you scroll down to the notes, you'll see the details, how these figures are arrived at. Cash and cash equivalent, note 4, was 5,128,016 shillings. Other receivables, note 6, this is mainly loans, staff loans, 200,000. Loans to members, which is the main asset of the society anyway, loans given out to members was 47,788,769 shillings. Total assets of the society as at 31st December 2020 was 53,491,565. The liabilities of the society were as follows. Members' deposits and savings. I think that's the main liability. Note 8 was 36,638,569 shillings. Accounts payable, which is in note 9, was 375,086 shillings. Amount due to members, I think these are some of the dividends that have not been paid out, amounted to dividend and interest that have not been paid out, I think is mainly interest, was 3,168,901 shillings. The society has an overdraft as at 31st December of 5,429,966. It's a loan, it's really overdraft. You can call it overdraft, but it's a loan. Giving, there is an amount taxable. This is basically for the previous year. Amount tax which had been assessed for the previous year, which had not been paid, was 370,806, giving total liabilities of 45,983,328. Now we had equity. Equity as balances due to members, which are the credit to the members in general. Share capital, note 11, was 5,102,419. Appropriation account, there was 1,760,296. Statutory reserve stood at 645,522. Total equity was 7,508,237 shillings, giving total liabilities and equity of 53,491,565, which is the same as the total assets that we have read. I think that is what I can read out to the members.
So we are very grateful to Mr. Bitter, who has read for us the financial statements for the SACCO. And as we have been doing, I would like to request members who are present in the meeting, one of the members can propose that we adopt this report for discussion, and another member to second the same, so that the report can be available to us for discussion. Kindly members who are in the group, in the meeting, to changamke, proposer and a seconder. Thank you, Evans Makana, who has proposed the report for adoption. Any seconder in the meeting? Lamek Makori, thank you very much for, and Robert Otuori, thank you for seconding the report for discussion. So the financial report is adopted for discussion in this particular meeting. Secretariat, please, you can advise us on how to proceed.
We would now like to take up the questions that have been put down in the Q&A feature. I would now like to call the chair to take up some of the questions that have been put in the Q&A feature.
Good morning, members. Once again, I acknowledge all the questions which have been posed to the panelists, and some of them have already been answered. I would like to specifically take this question from Mr. Chris Senanu, where he's asking, why did the expense move from 2.6 million to 7.2 million in 1 year? The operating expenses for the business grew over 100% year on year, mainly driven by increase in personnel expenses, administration expenses, information technology, rent, and insurance premiums. We made some great strides in saving in the business development and marketing expense line. We started charging personnel expenses in 2020. Previously, we had no personnel expenses. Also, on the insurance premium, beginning last year, the SACCO took to pay the whole premium for 100% savings insurance without transferring the cost to the members. This cost, this this benefit is provided to the members at no cost at all. Management is keen to keep this operating expense line as it influences the bottom line. However, the expense line is also matched by a 254% increase in the revenue line. We acknowledge that the expenditure has increased, but this also enabled our revenue line also to grow by a considerable percentage. As the board, in 2021, we have plans in place to manage the growth of the expenditure lines to be in line with the revenue growth. Thank you. On the next question, Mr. Evans Makana is asking, how does CRB determine a borrower's credit limit? I would like to invite the credit chair to take on that.
The CRB influences your ability to borrow in every organization, because not just in our SACCO, but any borrowing institution, because it gives a snapshot of your financial habits, or what we call financial health. So, like we mentioned earlier in the credit committee report, our M score ties in your CRB reports and figures out what risks, how risky you are as a borrower, and determines your ability to borrow the limits within the tiered category you belong to. So it's very important, and that. But one of the things, the dynamic about how we act is that we don't only look at your CRB report. We also look at your other statements, financial statements, M-Pesa statements, or mobile money statements, just to have an understanding of who you are, and that and your savings culture as well. And that gives us a bit of idea of who you are and your ability to borrow.
Thank you, Mr. Anoke. On the next question, we have from Mr. Daniel Ajega. According to the Cooperative Societies Act, share capital is not withdrawable. It can only be transferred from an existing member to another. Why do we have withdrawals? Mr. Daniel, I agree with you that according to the Cooperative Societies Act, share capital is not to be withdrawable. And that is the case with Mombo SACCO. That when members want to exit, the SACCO is solving a pain point where members had to forego their share capital because they could not introduce a new SACCO member to take up their share capital. What Mombo SACCO does is it takes the responsibility of transferring the share capital to another member and being able to refund the exiting member his full share capital. This does not in any way affect our share capital balance in terms of reducing it or depleting it. Because what we are doing, essentially, is have a new member purchase from an exiting member. So in the form of share capital, we have two parts in it. The new share capital and the sold out share capital. So new members get to purchase either from the original share capital, while others get to purchase from the sold out share capital. Mr. Ajega, thank you so much. Members, the session is still open. Please share your questions. We have a question from Mr. Benjamin Ongoro from Western Kenya. He is asking, how many members have exited the SACCO this year, and what could be the possible reason? Currently, we have 47 members who've exited the SACCO this year. And by exit, I mean they served their 60-day notice and they were paid back their full share capital and savings. This should be viewed against the number of new members that the SACCO has been able to recruit, which stands at 321 currently. Most importantly, COVID effects have been blamed for the exit, where a number of members lost their income-generating sources. And this is why they chose to exit the SACCO. Also to take note is we've had 22 members who've exited the SACCO before and have chosen to rejoin the SACCO. So this, dear members, is a vote of confidence of the services we are offering. Thank you. We have another question from Mr. Francis Nyadida, which I will have Mr. Anoke respond to. At what point does a member get 5 times of his or her savings on the loan application?
Again, thank you very much, Francis. Again, it's dependent on a couple of factors. As you can see, we're very, very key on your M score. We believe that your savings culture, your habits, paying habits, determines if you're able to borrow up to that limit. So that's what's important. So it's important to find out that at 5 times first of all, you need to qualify to borrow, which is you've been a consistent saver for over 3 months. You also, one of the things we do is we'll help you match guarantors in case you do not have, you need guarantors to be able to secure the maximum you could borrow, but it's very important, and that's why each time we keep reiterating on being able to provide your KYC documents every quarterly, because providing, one important nugget for members is to understand that whether or not you are interested in borrowing now, as long as you keep providing your KYC documents, it improves your credit rating. So your credit rating determines if you're able to get 5 times your savings. I hope I've been able to respond to you, Francis, adequately. Thank you.
Next, we have feedback from Mr. Daniel Ajega. Mr. Daniel, thank you so much for your feedback. In the next report, we will ensure this is addressed. We have a question from anonymous attendee. Please, would you like to share your name, please? Where the question is, if the SACCO is helping members to get guarantors, what happens if they don't pay? Do you subtract? I will take this. And also, on the same note, I'll also include Gilbert Ombogi's question. Is it possible for the loan period to be 36 months? So I'll begin with the question from anonymous attendee. Having access to guarantors has been a challenge for most members in the SACCO'S we have in Kenya. And one of the key reasons that Mombo SACCO came to address was access to guarantors. So we introduced members to other existing members so that they can create a personal connection with them, to be at ease guaranteeing them. I'm sure you've heard of experiences from your friends, your family, or yourself, that at some point, a guarantor's savings were deducted simply because they guaranteed another member. I am glad to inform you that since 2015 until now, Mombo SACCO has not had to deduct a guarantor's savings because a borrower did not pay. We follow this very strictly, that it is a borrower's responsibility to pay back the loan and not the guarantor. Towards this, we've put some measures in place, and one of them is the use of M score, where each borrower is given a loan according to his ability and not by how much savings they have. This ensures no borrower at any one point will get overburdened by the loan. Secondly, as the SACCO management, we encourage our members, whenever they face any financial challenges and they have loans, to come forward, and we will create solutions on how we can move forward. We appreciate and understand that no borrower comes to borrow with the sole intention of defrauding the SACCO or defaulting on the loans. And that's why we've been very understanding to our members to provide loan consolidations, loan refinancing, and loan restructures. In addition, we also have a team of debt collectors who will follow up on loan collections in cases where it has proved difficult for our customer service team in the office to collect the loan repayments. We have no intention of deducting a guarantor's savings. However, when the debt collectors have reached a point where they cannot be able to collect the money, then at this point, a guarantor savings will have to be deducted. In addition to this, we've also secured the guarantors so that they can guarantee up to a limit that they're comfortable with. Say, for instance, a borrower is borrowing 100,000 and they have two guarantors. One of the guarantors can choose to guarantee 30,000, while the other one can choose to guarantee 70,000. And for all the initial payments from the borrowers, it is the guarantor's liability which is reduced. And these members, you can follow it up from the new Mombo app, from the new redesigned Mombo app on the My Guarantors tab, where you can be able to view all the loans that you've guaranteed, whatever you guaranteed at the beginning, whatever has been paid, and the balance. Members, Mombo SACCO is about people helping people. When you guarantee another member, you are helping them. And you as the borrower, when you take your responsibility and repay your loan on time, you are also helping the guarantors gain enough confidence to guarantee other members who are in need. Remember, when you are joining the SACCO, some of us could not borrow from other lenders because we did not have an asset or a collateral. And this is where members guaranteeing each other is very important. Thank you. On the part of Gilbert about the loan tenors, currently, Mombo SACCO loans have a loan tenor of up to 48 months. However, as Mr. Ikechukwu Anoke has pointed out, the M score determines the maximum amount a member can access, the duration of the loan, and this also is taking into account what Mr. Anoke has mentioned, the CRB, the M-Pesa statement transactions, the bank statements. All this determines a borrower's credit score and how the SACCO can move forward. Members, I'd like to thank you for your questions. As I'm being informed that we need to move to the next item of the agenda. The questions which have not been asked or the questions that you'll continue asking, we will compile adequate answers, and this will be sent to your emails. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, for your responses together with the other panelists. Indeed, very candid responses and very insightful. We appreciate your candidness. In the interest of time, we shall be responding to the other questions and send them back on email, and others will be coming through the Q&A section as well. But we shall compile all of them and send them back to you on email after the event. Just to take a 1-minute breather, let's all take a 1-minute breather. We have received so much. In the meantime, we will be seeing what even more of our members are saying. There is nothing as powerful as a story and as a testimonial, right? So let's see what some of our members are saying as we take a 1-minute breather, then we proceed. Thank you.
Wale waliokuwa kidogo wamelagaiwa kule nyuma, kama unaweza pata nafasi nyingine, wajiunge na Mombo, kwa sababu Mombo kila kitu chao kiko wazi. Tuseme auditing yao ya last year, yote inakuja kwenye simu, email yangu, naiona kila kitu kinachofanyika na kiona. Sio eti mambo yanafanyika chini ya maji, no, mambo yako meupe. Kwa hivi sasa niko na bodaboda yangu. Hii bodaboda ilitoka wapi? Toka kwenye Mombo. Kwa hivi sasa mimi sijui mambo ya matatu. Kitu cha kushangaza ni last year kati corona ilipoingia, watu wakaambiwa waanze kufanya kazi nyumbani. Mimi ni dereva, kazi gani nitakayofanyia nyumbani ndio niweze kulipwa na mdosi? Nikaanza kupigia meneja kumwambia tafadhali, ningependa kuona bodaboda kwa sababu sasa mambo yameenda digital, kila kitu wanaitisha kutoka kwenye supermarkets na kwa delivered. So mimi naomba nisaidie nipate bodaboda ile nyakati ya niko free naweza fanya delivery, alafu nipate kitu. Mungu ni mwema, kanipa bodaboda nayo. Mimi mambo ya matatu mimi sijui.
Thank you once again, Mr. Chair and your team, for making the promises you have made to us today as members, and for your candidness, and for even promising us that we shall make more and see returns in our investments with you. We now want to proceed with the next item in the agenda, and I would like to invite Mr. Makori to take us through the next item. Mr. Makori, welcome to the podium.
Are now the official parts, which will be handled by the supervisor of the SACCO. And there's just one issue which I would like to highlight. If you see the report that has been presented to you, and you look at the chairman's report, he has spoken about SASRA, Regulations 2020. So there are three issues I would like to highlight about this, so that because we are going to call for a vote on this issue, so there are three issues which I would like to highlight about SASRA before we invite the supervisor. SASRA, in full, is the SACCO Societies Regulatory Authority, and this is the government's principal agency, which is responsible for the supervision and regulation of SACCO societies in Kenya, in accordance with the SACCO Societies Act of number 14 of 2008. Last year in May, the minister who is in charge of cooperatives published the SACCO Societies Non-Deposit Taking Business Regulations 2020. And this was by way of a legal notice. And the purpose of these regulations is to prescribe the prudential and market conduct measures to be complied with all SACCO societies undertaking specified non-deposit taking business. So the regulations specify the following BOSA, which is back office savings as being subject to the Act. And the Mombo SACCO is affected because we are doing what is called non-deposit taking business, in which the SACCO society mobilizes membership and subscription to its share capital through digital or other electronic payment platforms. So I will be requesting our supervisor to comment about this and advise us on how we can deal with it. So the regulations came into force in 1st of January 2021, and there is a requirement that all SACCO societies undertaking the specified non-deposit taking business comply with the same. This also includes an issue of amendment of the bylaws to comply with the mechanism or with a form which is provided for by this authority. I confirm that the particulars and information relating to Mombo SACCO have already been provided, and we have one pending issue which is on the amendment of the bylaws, which today we'll be making a proposal for amendments to the members. So we have issues which I would like to invite now our supervisor from the Ministry of Cooperative Development to handle. which are handled by officials, which include number one, appointment of auditors for the coming year. Then I would request her to give us 1 or 2 points about the SASRA, non-deposit taking business regulations 2020. I would like to invite her to comment maybe about disposal of the surplus for the financial year that has passed. And I would also like to request her to handle the issue of the election of the new board members. And for me, before I hand over to her, I would just like to thank her for getting time to be here with us this morning and to feel welcome as you take us through this part of the AGM. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makori. Madam Salome, we would like to invite you to just take up from where Mr. Makori has left us.
Good afternoon, members. I feel honored to be part of you this good afternoon and also to grace this AGM. I was with you in the year 2019. You are all aware that we were not able to have AGMs last year due to pandemic. Actually, they were suspended by the Commissioner for Cooperative Development, and we had no choice than to adjust with the situation. Otherwise, we thank God for the far He has taken us. We know a lot have happened during that period, but our God is grateful. I wish to make very few comments as we almost come to the end of our meeting. And one is to congratulate the SACCO for the milestones they have made. With the tough times we had, that is 2020, the year 2020, and we are here again with 2021. We have the pandemic, we have a lot of economical issues and a lot of things happening across the country. I really appreciate and recommend the Mombo SACCO for the milestones. Having recruited 608 new members within that period and all the hardships is a milestone. So I thank you and commend you for that. I've noted also there is improvement in savings and even asset base. That is a great milestone. Keep it up. I have also noted that during the year you got an award for being number 3 in digital tech for use of the tech solution. On that note, this is the only SACCO we have in Kajiado County that is digital. Actually, the rest years are digital, but the Mombo SACCO is purely digital when it comes to their services, and I wish to commend you for that. And when members maybe hear me saying Kajiado County, it's good to mention that Mombo SACCO is registered in Kajiado County, that is Kajiado North Sub-County in Ngong. So I'm here as a representative of the ministry and an employee of the county government of Kajiado, supervising this particular SACCO, among others. I wish to urge members to continue being ambassadors of Mombo SACCO. And as we look forward to attain what the chairman said in his report, with a lot of faith and confidence that by the year 2025, we are looking forward to have 52,000 members. That includes me and you to make Mombo SACCO grow. So I know the future is bright for us, and we can as well market our SACCO as much as we can. I know we have very many platforms that we have seen Mombo thriving, and we look forward to that. All the reports that were presented to you members are very much important. I know they were posted to you earlier. You had all the time to look at them. Today, it was only elaborating, and I appreciate the questions that have been raised. It's up to you members to go back to the question, understand your SACCO. For you to have confidence on where you're investing, you need to understand your SACCO. So kindly, in case there is a report that you feel that maybe your question has been left behind or you need more clarification, feel free to go back to your office so that your question can be answered. On the issue of SASRA, there are those new regulations that are coming up, but this falls in particular to the societies that have 100 million, over 100 million deposits. So I think Mombo are almost there. So maybe towards of the year 2021, you might get yourself there. So at this particular juncture, maybe you focus on enlightening yourself on these regulations. Otherwise, the only targeted SACCO as per now are those with over 100 million members deposits. On the disposals of surplus, this one you can go ahead now that the audit report is ready, and I am very sure you have been advised on the percentage on how maybe you are supposed to pay your members. I even saw them somewhere when I was going through your report. So you are free to dispose your surpluses. On the appointment of auditors, it is a norm in cooperative that every year you are supposed to renew some of your terms, which includes appointing of, reappointing or even appointing of auditors. And you are very much aware, you have been, from the audit report that has been presented to you, you saw an auditor there, that is Bitter and Associates. So it's up to you members, either to retain that auditor or maybe you opt for another auditor. That is normally left to the members to decide. And I don't know whether it is possible for me either to give the chairman a chance for this in case he had advertised for this particular post, or commend or recommend the auditor who has been doing the books. So that mandate is normally left for the members and the board to decide. Otherwise, me as an officer, mine is just to carry out that agenda. I think for the interest of time, can you do that, or I just move on and then you do it in the OB? Yeah, about the appointment of auditor. I wanted the chairman to comment whether what the board wishes. Had they advertised the position? Do they wish to retain the current auditor? It is the mandate of the board.
So far, we've had a good relationship with our current auditor, the firm of Lawrence and Bitter Associates. However, the firm's contract was for 3 years, and the 3 years have since expired. We advertised for the position of a new auditor. We propose that the SACCO appoints a new auditor by the name Otieno Oboge and Company. The firm is available on the SASRA approved list of auditors 2021. So we are in compliance.
Thank you. We need a proposer and a seconder. That's remaining hopeful, or assuming that there were other invitations for the same, but that particular firm emerged the best. So we need a proposer and a seconder for that.
We have a proposer by the name Daniel Ajega.
Seconder, please, for that particular farm that the chairman has proposed or has recommended.
Then we have a seconder by the name Susan Karenju.
Thank you, thank you. We now move to elections. Secretariat, you're ready for that?
Thank you so much, Madam Salome. Just as a refresher, we would like to just play a short video of the nominees so that just in case you have not voted, then you can see the posts that are available and those who are vying, and you can vote for them. So give us a minute to just play a few videos for the nominees. Keep your votes coming. At the end of these videos, we shall close the voting link and collect the votes.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Mungai. I've been a member of Mombo SACCO since October 2018. I am a fully paid shareholder and I'm vying for the position of a board member. As we all know, technology is fast-paced. We are in a digitally advanced era. As a systems engineer for the last almost 8 years, I bring to the table skills that will enable Mombo SACCO to stand out as a key digital player in the savings and investment field. You can count on me to keep us on track technology-wise. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Gibran Soenekea. I'm a member of Mombo SACCO. I joined the SACCO in October 2019 from US. I'm currently based in US and I'm a full paid member, and so far I have referred over 20 members from both US and Kenya to the SACCO. I would like to join the board so that I can represent the welfare of the diaspora people. I hereby urge members to vote for me, and I want to assure the members that we'll work together and I'll use my energy and my effort to make sure that I bring more members to Mombo SACCO from diaspora. Thanks, and once again, I kindly ask you to vote for me. Thanks.
Hello, Mombo SACCO members. My name is Gideon Zolo Mangale. You can call me Gideon Zolo or G Zolo if you like. I've been a member of Mombo SACCO for the last 2.5 years, going to 3 years now. And during that time, I've managed to recruit 15 members here in diaspora. And these members are very, very active. I was also appointed chairman supervisory committee for the last 1 year, and I've been very active in this post. And it's now time to elect a new member. And I'm asking you guys to vote for me, because I still believe I've got what it takes to remain chairman supervisory committee here in diaspora. And believe me, I will bring many changes to Mombo SACCO. So guys, I'm asking you for your votes. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Hello, members of Mombo SACCO. My name is Ngala Chome. I've been a member of the SACCO since its inception in 2015, having personally been known to the first chair, Mr. Peter. I've been working, in the background to help shape the SACCO's mission and vision, and also a sort of marketing strategy. Now that we're going into our second annual general meeting and the upcoming elections, we would sort of like to institutionalize the relationship I've had with the SACCO by joining the board of the SACCO. So I'm seeking all your votes. A number of you are known to me, having brought them to the SACCO initially, and I will continue to steer the SACCO to achieve its strategic objectives. Thank you very much.
My name is Gilbert Onyego Mbongi. I'm a member of Mombo SACCO since November 2019. I'm pleased to inform you that I'm vying for the position of secretary to the committee because I believe I have the necessary skills that I can apply for smooth running of the SACCO. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Salome Njoki and I've been a member of Mombo SACCO since 2019. I am also a full shareholder. I would like to be considered for the open board membership position because I identify with the vision of building wealth in the community and I would like to participate in the strategic pillars that the SACCO has in place. Having a background in sales, I believe I bring on board the skills to grow membership as well as strategically place the SACCO in a growth trajectory for membership and partnerships across the financial ecosystem. Most importantly, I am a mother and I believe that Mombo SACCO is a resource that we need to secure the financial future of our children. Thank you for your consideration.
Good morning, Mombo SACCO. My name is Chris Sonanu and I'm going to be vying for the Vice Chair of the Executive Committee. Now, we all know that we are a new SACCO, and more importantly, we're a digital SACCO. And I believe strongly that with great leadership, we are able to grow this SACCO to become a very sustainable one. I believe I'm able to add value on further digitization. I'm able to add a lot of value on corporate governance, and I'm able to also add value on building the brand of this SACCO to ensure that people out there want to join us and want to help us grow this SACCO sustainably. Vote wisely and have a lovely day.
Thank you, members. I appreciate all the nominees who have spoken and shown their wish to see Mombo growing to greater heights. From the outcome of your best choice of candidates, I wish to announce the results. I understand that a total of 600 members were sent the invitations to vote, and a good number, that is half of the total number, have voted. And we have the best candidates for the day to join the board as Salome Wanjiko with 127 votes. That is 26% of the total votes. Number two, we have Chris Senanu, 123 votes. That is 25%. Then we have, number three, we have Kilian Gala Chome, that is 99, with 99 votes, equivalent to 20% total of the total voters. Congratulations to the three of you, and on behalf of our office, as we join Mombo SACCO board, we welcome you and congratulate you. For the supervisory committee, we had Gideon Zolo Magale and Gilbert Oyego Ombogi, who are the nominees. And we actually needed only 2 candidates to fill those positions. So these 2 qualify unopposed, since they did not have somebody to compete with. I also welcome them and wish them all the best. Kindly allow me to make a clarification for the 3 candidates that have joined the board members. You understand that there were 3 vacancies. That is for the vice chair, the treasurer, and the credit committee. You are not, when you join this board, you are not going to fill those particular positions. No. You will still sit with the board, you reconstitute the board, and maybe they will place you where you fit best, depending with your qualification. Otherwise, I thank you all members for your time and wish you well. God bless you. God bless Mombo SACCO.
Thank you so much, Madam Salome, for that. And congratulations to the winners. I can see we are doing well with the time. I would like to now invite James Makori to take us through the resolutions. James Makori, welcome to the podium.
So, with permission of the chair, I equally take this opportunity to sincerely thank our supervisor who has made time to be with us here today, and for the advice that she has given us and for conducting the elections. Members, we have only one issue remaining, which is to conduct our resolutions. And I'm advised just to highlight one issue. As you have heard from the supervisor, it was not possible to hold AGM last year because of the COVID situation that was in the country. So the chairman's report and the audit report are reports for 2 years. So I hope that members understand that when we approve the 2, we have approved reports for 2 years, 2019 and 2020. So arising from the discussion that has been here this morning, these are the proposed resolutions that we would like to pass in accordance with what has been discussed. We had already shared some of this in advance, in anticipation, and I am happy that we have already, as we are speaking, passed one, which is the appointment of Otieno, Boge, and company as auditors for the coming year, 2021-2022. So I would just like to read these resolutions, then I will call for members to adopt them and pass them. Number 1 is, and I think this, we have appointed committee members. The committee members who have been appointed, this is going to be your work. I think the members will not be involved in day-to-day management of the SACCO, so it is up to the committee to do this. We have already shared proposed amended bylaws. So one of the resolutions we are making is to amend the bylaws in compliance with the regulations. And we need to give the management committee a resolution of the AGM, allowing them to proceed to do so that they comply with Regulation 5, Subregulation 3, Subregulation C of the 2020 regulations by presenting a resolution of this AGM to SASRA. Then that is number 1 and 2 of our resolutions. That is to amend the bylaws in accordance with the 2020 regulations where necessary. And we allow the SACCO to undertake specified non-deposit taking business, and also that we put a resolution to that effect. So this, if we allow, then the management committee that has been elected today will see how to handle it on a day-to-day basis. Number 3, we have interest COVID cushion fund of Kenya shillings 2 million due to members at 31st December 2019 to be issued as bonus shares to all members based on individual member savings as at 31st December 2019. Number 4 is to maintain Cooperative Bank as our principal bankers. Number 7 is to authorize the SACCO to borrow from lenders up to a maximum of Kenya shillings 6 million. Of course, this is to support further lending to members of the SACCO. And then number 8, we have spoken about the surplus. So we are proposing to dispose the 2019 and 2020 surplus as below, which is to pay interest on savings and deposits at the rate of 4%, 4.5%, 5%, and 6% for bronze, silver, gold, and platinum members, respectively. And this is advised by the fact that we need to maintain, I don't know how I describe figures, a good amount in our core capital. And then, of course, it is very important that we have an umbrella organization for SACCO'S, which is KUSCO, Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives. So we are requesting members to authorize Mombo SACCO to affiliate with KUSCO. And the reason for this is, of course, there is the way you join as a member of Mombo SACCO and you pay, we also have to pay to KUSCO for this. And then because the SACCO is growing, we are proposing to revise the board of directors and supervisory committee members' indemnity from Kenya shillings 500,000 to Kenya shillings 1 million each, so that they continue to protect our funds. Chair, I've avoided item number 6, which is referring specifically to my farm. So I would request that you, or maybe I can request Caroline to come to the podium and read resolution number 6, and then call for adoption of the resolutions. Is that okay? So Caroline, please come so that you can read item number 6 and then you proceed to call for adoption.
All right. Thank you, James, for that. I would like to just read resolution number 6, which is appointing James T. Makori Advocates as Mombo SACCO legal advisor for year 2021-2022, and to call us to adopt. I think we do this by the charts. I would like somebody to propose and another to second. Okay. Thank you, Daniel Ajega, for that proposal. Susan Karenju, Benjamin, on someone who will second. I guess those ones can propose and second, right? Yes. So thank you, Ajega, and okay, Anne Mwaniki seconds. All right, so all these resolutions, number 1 to 10, have been proposed and seconded by Ajega and seconded by Anne Mwaniki. Thank you, members.
So thank you very much, members. I don't know whether there is anybody who would be opposing those proposals. I don't think there is, and I want to thank you very much for your participation in the meeting. We have only one other item remaining, which is any other business. And I think the practice of meetings is that if you are required to raise any other business, you should have lodged it with the Secretariat in advance of the meeting. There was no other business which was received from any of the members. However, this SACCO belongs to the members, and it would be my request that I can stand here for 2 minutes to allow any member who has got any other business that he feels is important to be raised, to raise it on the chat so that we can look at it before we close the meeting. After this, our next agenda will just be closing the meeting. So if you have any burning issue that you would wish to raise, the officials are here, they can address the issue. You are free to raise it on the chat so that we can look at it.
You would tell me about SACCO'S, I'd think automatically I'd go to like chamas or something where moms go, they sit down, they, how are you, how have you been? So that's automatically how I think SACCO'S were. Like the boring meetings they'd have, you just go and you're like, like okay, so you're like with 10 females, like they're 20 years older than you. So I thought that SACCO'S were generally like that. So when I came and I was being talked about too by, I was being told things about Mombo, I was like, wait, so you don't sit around? I'm like, what? It's like, hi, how are you? So that's what I was assuming it was. So when I was being told how Mombo is and the age group that is there, I was really surprised because I thought that I'd be the youngest in like the whole group, which was very interesting to find out that I wasn't. So yeah, I think the thing that drew me closer to Mombo is that it removed the perspective of a SACCO has to be like of an old generation, a boring thing.
Okay, so we have one issue which I would like to address. A member who has said they do not understand resolution number 10. Resolution number 10 seeks to increase the indemnity of the officials of the SACCO from Kenya shillings 500,000 to Kenya shillings 1 million. Now, when you are appointed as or you are elected as a member of the board of directors, you are taking responsibility for the funds of the members, for proper management of the funds of the members. So the officials are required to provide an indemnity so that if there is any loss of members' funds, they will take responsibility to that extent. That is really the meaning of an indemnity. And I think the purpose of the indemnity is to ensure that the members' funds are protected. So elected officials to the board of management or to the board of directors will now increase. There has been a previous indemnity of Kenya shillings 500,000, but since we are anticipating that the amount of savings in the SACCO is going to increase, then we are increasing this to Kenya shillings 1 million. And of course, this will increase as the SACCO grows because the responsibility grows with the amount of money that is saved in the SACCO. And then another member is requesting for contacts of the SACCO officials. So I think this issue, the management office or the secretariat will be able to deal with it. So members, with your kind permission, and the chairman, I wish to thank you very much for attending this meeting and for your kind participation. And it is now my pleasure once again to invite the Secretary of the SACCO, Madam Caroline Cherop, so that she can do the rest of the meeting. Thank you.
I'd like to kindly ask the chair to give us a bit of a background on what SASRA was all about. Kindly give us that clarification for just a minute.
Hello, members. SASRA required SACCO'S with over 100 million in savings to submit an application to be regulated. In addition, digital SACCO'S and SACCO'S which were collecting savings from diaspora members were also required to do the same. On the first item of 100 million savings, Mombo SACCO still has a shortfall. However, in the last two of digital SACCO and SACCO'S collecting savings from members in diaspora, that's where we are duty bound to submit an application to SASRA to be regulated. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for that clarification. I hope that was clear. And to answer the question on getting the contacts of the SACCO officials, I would like to state that we are very transparent. All this information is available on our website. If you click on our website, you'll find the officials right there, and you can communicate to them via their emails. Well, it's my humble duty to sorry for that, I was unmuted. So I would like to clarify that last clarification that our contacts are available on our website. You can communicate to the officials via their emails. Besides that, the offices are open. You can actually make a call to our offices any time of the day. and our secretariat is able to reply to your questions. So now it's my humble duty to give a vote of thanks to all of us for attending this meeting. Let me acknowledge that this is the first time you're having a virtual AGM. So we have issues here and there. So we want to ask for your feedback as our participants to kindly give us your comments on the chat box, because I'm sure we're going to be using this platform for many more meetings going forward. So kindly give us your feedback on how we fared with this digital way of conducting meetings, and would appreciate that feedback. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge all the participants who joined this meeting. I think from 9 o'clock to right now it's 1 p.m. We have had about 60 participants. These are members of the SACCO, and this is really, really, really a great, show of confidence in the SACCO. And noting that our quorum was 20, kudos to you members. I would also like to thank the board of members, the members of the board. This is the management team, supervisory team, and our secretariat. I would also like to thank our supervisor from the cooperatives, official from the cooperatives movement. I'd also like to thank Lawrence Bita of Bita and Associates, and to thank the team for for managing this production. Thank you so much for showing that faith. And to wrap it up, I guess this is it. I would like to urge you members to continue saving, to continue purchasing your share capital. Let us make Mombo SACCO grow. May God bless Mombo SACCO. May God bless you. It's now my humble duty to announce that the meeting is officially closed, and to request us to bow down for a word of prayer before we close. So let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this meeting. We thank you for this day. We thank you for our members that have joined us today. We thank you, King of Glory, for what we have discussed. We thank you for the consensus we have received. We pray that, King of Glory, these resolutions that we have passed may enable our SACCO grow by leaps and bounds. And Lord, we thank you for the next year, that when we come back next year to report back to our members, we shall be talking on a different scales. We thank you, King of Glory, for all you have done for us and what you will continue doing for us. For we pray this in your holy name. Thank you. Hi, I guess this is it. Goodbye, members. Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you so much, members. Please feel free to leave the meeting. Feel free to leave the meeting. Have a lovely weekend.
The SACCO can give you up to 5 times what you have saved. So why can't I go for just 2 times what I've saved? So I think I go for 2 million. They told me it's not possible. Now you can imagine you've joined, you've already saved, and you're already being given stories. It's not possible because of this, and that. And my credit score then was a bit low, and I wasn't told. And it was because of, I was put in a CRB because of some very stupid thing which I would have avoided. So if I was upset in the beginning, because I was like, if I was informed all this, I wouldn't have committed to these guys and then last minute withdraw. Yeah. So I felt cheated in the beginning. I was like, now this is when I'm getting into a SACCO, now I'm getting all these frustrations. Was it even worth me joining? That was my first question. Then I said, okay, maybe there was some miscommunication somewhere, because when I met the team, the board, they explained to me the situation. Of course, I was upset, but also I'm in business. I'm a person in business. I've seen people getting angry at me, my customers, but they don't go away because they were upset once. So let me give them a second chance. So I said, okay, as much as it's good you've told me the truth, I cannot do this or this, but let me just continue and see where we move from there. Okay, to other business fellow colleagues, whether in travel or in other business sectors, I think for me, I would give it a plus. I would tell you go for Mombo. No, I'm not being paid to do this, sorry. But I'm saying go for Mombo because number one, they are there for you. There is no company, not even a financial institution, not even Equity, that you can get a loan that fast. 20 minutes loan approval, I think is the fastest record I've seen. And of course, payment terms are also very flexible. You don't feel so much pinch.
Kwa hivi sasa niko na bodaboda yangu. Hii bodaboda ilitoka wapi? Toka kwenye Mombo. Kwa hivi sasa mimi sijui mambo ya matatu. Kitu cha kushangaza ni last year kati corona ilipoingia, watu wakaambiwa waanze kufanya kazi nyumbani. Mimi ni dereva, kazi gani nitakayofanyia nyumbani ndio niweze kulipwa na mdosi? Nikaweza kupigia meneja kumwambia tafadhali, ningependa kuona bodaboda kwa sababu sasa hii mambo yameenda digital. Kila kitu wanaitisha kutoka kwenye supermarkets na kwa delivered. So mimi naomba nisaidie nipate bodaboda ile nyakati ya niko free naweza fanya delivery. Alafu nipate kitu. Mungu ni mwema, kanipa bodaboda nayo. Mimi mambo ya matatu mimi sijui.
Right now, people who are in universities are young people, right? And we're the ones who are learning the new things that are in the market right now. We're learning about this new technology. And if you check the highest percentage of people who are in university right now are young people. So how are we supposed to bring out the new things in the market if we're not able to run an organization? If you're not able to trust us to run an organization, how are we supposed to bring out the new things you get? So now I'd really say you should get the chance to trust young people because they're the ones who have the new things that have come into the world right now, and let them explore and teach you and show you and direct you into the future. You would tell me about SACCO'S, I'd think automatically I'd go to like chamas or something where moms go, they sit down, like, how are you, how have you been? So that's automatically how I'd think SACCO'S were. Like the boring meetings they'd have, you just go and you're like, like okay, so you're like with 10 females, like they are 20 years older than you. So I thought that SACCO'S were generally like that. So when I came and I was being talked about too by, I was being told things about Mombo. I was like, wait, so you don't sit around? I'm like, what? It's like, hi, how are you? So that's what I was assuming it was. So when I was being told how Mombo is and the age group that is there, I was really surprised because I thought that I'd be the youngest in like the whole group, which was very interesting to find out that I wasn't. So yeah, I think the thing that drew me closer to Mombo is that it removed the perspective of a SACCO has to be like of an old generation, a boring thing.
I've been here for a long time, yes, and I've grown. If there was no growth, even personally, as an individual, leave alone the business part, personally as an individual, it would have been very hard for me to say there's something different about me or in you. Yeah, we become very hesitant or very concerned if we have to put our money somewhere. Yeah, you have questions, you're worried, yeah, and you want to feel safe. Personally, I'm here because I feel safe. I think that's one thing we overlook or sometimes we ignore. But for me, safety, anytime, even in a relationship, especially for women, the first thing you want to feel is safe. Yeah, like this person has your back. So the same thing, I think we are relational as well. You want to feel safe somewhere. So for me, I feel safe. And they've given us confidence and they've shown it. Yeah, it is something that has made me grow. It is something that is tangible. I can show you this is, I'm from here and here. I even have a restaurant and they've put into it because I got a loan to also support that. Yeah, so I've grown.
When my parents told me to start saving, I didn't have that drive and momentum to save. I wasn't interested in it, so I didn't pay much attention to it. That time I was in the silver saver, saving that 2,500. I felt it was just a waste of money going away, and I couldn't get it, so that was paining me. And then now, after I thought to myself and joined again, I joined the Gold Saver because I felt that it was time to take a step and also challenge myself in saving.
My brother and I, let me now tell you something about our family. We really have our own different hairstyles. Like, I have dreads, my brother has his own hairstyle, my mom her own, my dad like his own, like bald, you know. So now we all don't get all our services at one place. So I was telling my mom it would be my dream for us to all get the services in one building. Instead of us all just going to different ones, I'd love us to be to get our services in one building. So I told my mom I'd like to own a barber/salon with my brother and include every style that we have. So if my dad wants something, he can come to that salon. If I want something, I can come to that salon and be done for extremely well. Because according to my hairstyle, which is dreadlocks, if there's one thing that I've never found is a person who can braid my dreadlocks well and they are not seen. So I used to complain about that a lot because I had to go to school and they don't allow dreadlocks. So imagine the struggle of trying to find someone who knows how to plait dreads. So I'd really want to find someone who can plait very well, someone who can shave, cut very well, someone who can make women's hair naturally well. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do with my brother. We just grow things like that. Yeah, because we're both into hair. Yeah.
By the way, it's not, there's something I need to mention. It's not that I've not been in trouble. Yeah. It's not that I've taken a loan and it's been smooth all the way. Yeah. Like, I was able to pay all my loans on time and I always had money. Yeah. No, it's not worked like that. There are times it's been really tough. Like over, I think the last 1 or 2 years. Yeah. When COVID hit, there are times you go down and you have a lot of pressure to pay because of course you owe money and you have to pay. So I've been in trouble before, yeah, but they've been really patient sometimes and understanding. And sometimes I put myself in a situation where I ask myself if I was in a bank or if I owed someone else money, because I've seen people go through shit. They owed people money and they went through hell, yeah. But this feels like home. Yeah, you can explain your case and you can be understood. People can hear you out. Yeah, they can give you some time. They can wait. They can understand. They will visit you. They will call you. They will check on you. Yeah.
The thing that made me think about my financial strategy is when one of my cousins actually started his own business in farming and also in the tire industry. So he started selling rims, tires, whatnot. And we are actually almost the same age. So I looked at myself, I was like, myself, what have I done to myself? I didn't have anything to show to myself that I have done. And that really challenged me and kept me going. So I was like, I need to start changing my strategy of doing things. So I was happy for my cousin, yes, but at the same time, I was disappointed about myself because at the moment, I haven't done anything for myself. I personally have trained myself to have the discipline of my money, time, because when you lose that 1 minute, you won't get it back. So you need to think outside the box and not think of what other people are telling you, but think of what you really want in your life. So I just thought that let me help myself, and then I can do the rest later on.